The NWAC would like to thank Baden for supplying the official game balls of the NWAC Championships. Baden is committed to developing and producing the highest quality products in sports and is driven by what is right for athletes. Baden, perform better.
I am strong.
I won't give up.
I put my heart into the game.
I learned from my mistakes.
Focus.
Determination.
Confidence.
I trust my gut.
No limits.
Preparation.
Dedication.
Leadership. I want to make my team and family proud.
Be an inspiration for other girls who like sports.
Join the movement. I am strong.
Red Lion Hotels Corporation is built to thrive. With innovative programming and in-the-know staff, our hotel brands offer guests great stays and a chance to immerse in local culture. Red Lion Hotels and Red Lion Inn and Suites are better than ever. For travelers who want to get lost and discover adventure, we open the door to the best local experiences. We have reinvented the loyalty program. Introducing Hello Rewards, the first recognition-based loyalty program that encourages members to go further, fly higher, travel better, with tailor-made rewards. And we're not stopping yet. Presenting Hotel RL, our newest hotel brand. Inspired by the natural beauty of the Pacific Northwest, an uplifting, relaxed atmosphere, a staff that loves what they do. For adventurers at heart, Hotel RL will inspire an amazing journey. Our future has never been brighter. 3 strong brands, an expanding portfolio, industry-leading innovation with turnkey solutions, simple fee structures, areas of protection, continued support from day one. We make partnerships easy. Reach a new breed of traveler with RLHC.
We see you. Be your creative self at Clark College.
WWCC is affordable. Find your way. Attend part-time. Direct transfer. Join the fun at WWCC. WWCC is affordable. Find your way. Attend part-time. Direct transfer. Join the fun at WWCC.
I chose Centralia College because I really felt like school, academic-wise and soccer-wise, it would be a good fit for me. And then I come here and I play, and it's like the competition is crazy, and I don't think the label of community college means anything to the skill that people have. My name is Gabby, and I play soccer at Centralia College, and I go boldly.
see you. Be your curious self at Clark College.
I chose Centralia College because I really felt like school, academic-wise and soccer-wise, it would be a good fit for me. And then I come here and I play, and it's like the competition is crazy, and I don't think the label of community college means anything to the skill that people have. My name is Gabby, and I play soccer at Centralia College, and I go boldly.
I am strong.
I won't give up.
I put my heart into the game.
I learned from my mistakes.
Focus.
Determination.
Confidence.
I trust my gut.
No limits.
Preparation.
Dedication.
Leadership. I want to make my team and family proud.
And be an inspiration for other girls who like sports.
Join the movement. I am strong.
I won't give up.
I put my heart into the game.
I learned from my mistakes.
Focus.
Determination.
Confidence.
I trust my gut.
No limits.
As the Clark Penguins take on the Tacoma Titans. Hello, thank you for joining us here on the NWAC Digital Network. I am Harvey alongside Dave Morris. And Dave, it is about exactly what you would expect for a soccer match in mid-November in the Pacific Northwest.
Perfect weather to play too. Nice and cool. The rain seems to have stopped, so field is nice and moistened. Make it nice and slick so the ball move. Pretty excited group of young women here. All these teams are back for their second consecutive Final Four appearance. There will be a new team in the final since the seedings have been scrambled a little bit as we get ready for the national anthem with the teams on the field.
Please turn to your right and you will see our flag. Now the playing of our national anthem.
Roger. They're going to play this anthem before every match today. It's going to be a long day of anthems.
Oh, God. I'm hoping they just do it once. Maybe twice.
You and me both.
Yeah. I've heard too many national anthems, especially ones that are longer than 60 seconds.
Yeah, that's 48. That's my rule.
And we're back.
We are back here on the NWAC Digital Network, getting set for kickoff here right before we are.
Now we'd like to present the rosters as presented by the head coaches.
Clark College being honored with the Southern Region Trophy. What a season they put together. 11-0-1 in region play, 13-1-1 overall. And Dave, this is a Penguins team that's conceded 1 goal in their last 13 matches.
They've been exceptional this year. We saw them early in August in a scrimmage match at Evergreen, and they were very impressive against us. They had the 1 loss to Highline, but that was a pretty heavy 4-0 loss. Of course, it's been a long time, and at this level, teams are so different at the end of the year from where they are at the beginning. It's pretty tough to read much into it. On the other hand, I think they probably, if they could do anything, if they could say there's one thing they'd like to work on as a program, I think Clark would say they'd like to toughen up their schedule in the run-in. The Tacoma coming in. Marissa Covarrubias. Pretty tough schedule. Natalie Grace. They get a chance to really get tested a little bit more often. Clark, if you look at their results, they had a number of games where they weren't seriously challenged. You look at their schedule, they played Clackamas twice, Rogue twice, Portland twice. Lane was the big other contender in that region. And they're a good team and they're well coached. But I think there's still a level difference there. And I think with Tacoma, they just have more games that are a little bit more competitive on their schedule.
And so this is a Tacoma team that has had to scrap a little bit in the postseason to get their way here. Knocked off Whatcom 3-2 despite being the underdog. They've been on the road for all their contests. And then a very dramatic 0-0 against Spokane and then 5-4 finish on penalties.
Yeah, they're fighting out of that 3 seed. I think coming out of the West region, just qualifying, the West, I thought, had the most competitive battle for those 3 seeds. The number 4 seed, Lower Columbia, was a program that made a big jump under a first-year head coach, and it was really competitive, had an impressive season, and Tacoma just edged past them, despite Lower Columbia actually beating Tacoma in the second match. They play a double round robin. Lower Columbia beat Tacoma in the second matchup, but it wasn't enough to get them over the top. Tacoma's made the most of that. And had a great playoff run. I think they got a pretty favorable matchup. Whatcom, another good team, but Tacoma matched up well with them, went up there and beat them. And then I think the big upset for Tacoma was beating Spokane on PKs in Spokane. It's a long trip, a tough game against a very well-coached team that's been in this Final Four a number of times. And Tacoma knocked them out. All credit to them, and they're here today. For Clark, they had a little bit of a smoother ride, I think, through the playoffs. There's a big advantage to being the 1 seed as you go through the bracket in the NWAC. And so I think that they took advantage of that a little bit, and they're healthy and they've been able to play. They got past Bellevue in the first round. Bellevue hasn't been in the playoffs for a little while. They have a relatively new coach who's done a nice job now over the past 3 years building them up, and they had a terrific season. But it's a little bit easier when you only got to win 1 game at home versus going on the road twice, especially playing that rested team when you have that sort of a setup where 2-3 play and then the 1 seed stay home. That's always a little bit of a challenge. Although at this time of year you can kind of play it both ways because it's nice to be in rhythm and keep playing. Nobody really wants a week off this time of year.
Absolutely, and both these teams now theoretically just 90 minutes away from a shot at the NWAC championship match. Let's meet the starting 11 for both teams. First for the Tacoma Titans. In goals, Kira Ellie Kersley. The outfield players, Kaylee Cruz, Marina O'Loughlin, Ava Brock, Ava Duffy, Amanda Rickey, Aubrey Smith, Alexis Newsom, Julian Johnson, Hannah Gagley, and Mackenzie Rivers. They are led by head coach Jill Green. For the Penguins, in goals, Maggie Higgins. Defenders, Mia Castaneda, Julie Williams, Allison Finley. The holding mids, Sarah Tubner. Pardon me, I've misplaced one of our starters.
You're missing a Hannah.
Kayla Sills, Courtney Sutter, Turner Joy, Natalie Paul, and Samantha Rosenkrantz rounding things out up top. That's the lineup card that they handed me only had the first names written down. There's 2 Hannahs on the Clark roster. So there's 1 surprise player in there, but we'll find him before too long goes by here.
What are the 2 Hannahs here? I'm trying to look here. There's 2 players I would highlight for people watching. One of them for Clark. I'm trying to look for where she is. Let me go over to Tacoma first. Number 3, Kaylee Cruz. is an outside back, but is a really influential player for them. You don't usually highlight as a first thing in women's soccer the outside back, but Kaylee is an exceptional player, brings a lot of speed to the table and a lot of skill, and really gives people problems on that flank. And I think when you're matching up Tacoma's 4-3-3 against a 3-5-2 from Clark, Clark's going to have to account for her coming down the sideline because she's going to be an important part of what Tacoma's doing, and she's going to make it hard for the outside mids from Clark to, particularly Joy over on the left side. Actually, I'm sorry, it's going to be, I think, Sills on the right side who's going to have to match up there a little bit. And they can push those outside mids back and create some mismatches. Although they gave us Kaylee Cruz as an outside back, and she's playing as part of a central pairing right now, as she just passed the ball as Tacoma kind of swings it around the outside.
And we're underway here at Starfire Stadium. The Titans in all black, moving from left to right on your screen here in the first half. The Penguins in all white, going back the other way. First of 4 semifinals that we'll see here today, and 4 that we'll commentate. Dave, should be a plenty long day of work for you and I.
It's going to be a good day. It's a good day to play 2, and if you're doing the men and the women, a good day to play 4. For Clark, Sarah Tubner is really an influential player right in the middle of the park for them. And I think how she handles Amanda Rickey in the Tacoma midfield is going to dictate the tempo of this game. Because she's coming back. She had an outstanding tournament last year and in the semifinal game, an outstanding season. And Tacoma's midfield triangle is going to have to account for her.
This is Castaneda up the near side. She'll try an early ball in. He gets beyond Paul, gets beyond the far side keeper, and fluffed at the far side. I believe that was Samantha Rosenkrantz that couldn't cash in. Pardon me, it was Allison Finley, the outside back, getting all the way forward. And Dave, when you're playing a 3-5-2, sometimes you still want to get your fullbacks up the field to get them involved, but you can really leave yourself caught out in that situation.
I think that was Kayla Beard, actually, who I think did recover. Did she recover in the outside back position? I think she did. There's 18 and 19 over there, so it's a little bit difficult for us to see from up in the booth. Clark's coming down the field again. But Clark's going to get players forward, and if Tacoma has that much trouble with the cross like that, that was a little bit of a let-off. That ball got loose at the far post, and now's a ball that hopefully O'Kearsley can build a little confidence handling that ball, because you always wonder early on, the first 5 minutes of a game like this, Central Site, semifinal, everybody's a little nervous, and I think she got caught flapping it across there, honestly.
Titans trying to win possession moving forward. Aubrey Smith was causing some problems. Castaneda has it back with little trouble. Linko play through the middle.
So far, it looks like the pattern's going to be Clark getting forward and using, being able to combine and work around Tacoma's midfield, and then Tacoma looking a little bit longer on the counter.
That's Smith on the ball.
And her ability to hang on to the ball when they play it long and then get it back into the midfield so they can get forward is going to be key for Tacoma.
Brock going ahead for Newsom.
She gets into the corner.
We have our lacrosse, and we'll have our first corner.
Tacoma's got to like that. 3 minutes in, get a set play, be able to get some taller players up into the box. Clark bringing 9 players back into the box.
It's Amanda Rickey to send the corner from the near side. It'll be an outswinger.
Clark playing, they're marking a zone in a zonal way. So there's some chances to run in for Tacoma, try to shoot the gaps a little bit. Rickey was directing traffic.
Well, ball in from Rickey doesn't beat the first defender. Brock lifts in a second ball. Castaneda with a partial clearance, and she'll see it to the near touchline. Well, Dave, are you surprised that Tacoma only had 5 in the penalty area there, left 4 outside the box?
I'm not sure that they didn't get their signals crossed there. They were trying to run something, and Rickey was talking to one of the strikers. I think it was, I'm trying to look as I get all the numbers straight. I think it was number 7 for Tacoma, and trying to figure out. I think they kind of got their signals crossed. Newsom, and it looked like they weren't totally happy with where the ball was played, or where I think the ball was played in short because there was supposed to be somebody making a run into that area. They didn't quite get there.
Castaneda up the near side.
Long diagonal.
Looking for Rosenkrantz that time.
That's going to be tough. They're going to have a lot more success going right to left as opposed to left to right, trying to get over Kaylee Cruz, number 3. She's able to play pretty far off that striker and make the ground up, and it's going to be very hard to hit that ball in down that pattern.
There's Brock going at Joy. Play at the byline. This cross
Great
comes
ball
in.
Across.
Aubrey Smith got a foot to it, couldn't direct it on goal.
Smith did a terrific job getting across the defender, and then Ricky working hard to win it. But that's the second time Tacoma's come down the right side. Is this going to be onside? Yes, it will.
That ball had a long time to develop. Natalie Paul looking to center. Now it's Joy.
I wasn't sure if the striker Natalie Paul hadn't come back from an offsides position to deal with that as it rolled toward her. There's Topham swinging it out wide.
Beard, early ball in. It's over the head of Rosenkrantz. She ducks underneath it. Tubner loses out to Ricky.
That was...
Pardon me, that's Hannah Ty. This
Yeah,
one might
Ty
fall
Ricky.
through.
Yep, Julian Johnson, the sophomore forward for Tacoma.
Overlap for Smith. She's going to have a go. And in the end, it's right at Maggie Higgins. But you see the Tacoma Titans' ability to play off that counter that a chance developed quickly, and they made something of it.
Yep, and Johnson's a terrific weapon on the counter. And that's their first shot on goal, and I think they serve notice. This is going to be a two-way game.
Ball was handled. Free kick for the Titans.
Also, it's going to be interesting to me. There are a couple influential players. Both these teams, you don't get to this point in the season without a fair amount of depth at this level. And Casey Smack for Tacoma is one of the players who I'm not sure how healthy she is at this point in the season, but she's a kid who can change a game off the bench coming in. And she actually already has an NWAC title. She played for Highline last year before transferring to Tacoma.
Wow. You mentioned health. The attrition rate of collegiate soccer in the United States, whether it's at the NCAA or the junior college level, the games come so fast, they're so densely packed together, it's really tough to try to keep a roster fully hale and healthy as you move to a postseason.
Yeah, one of the things that I think is smart in the NWAC is that they have open substitution. The NCAA has restricted re-entry. In junior college, you can come in and out as much as you want, like high school. And I think when you're playing the number of games these guys are playing, there's a pretty good battle over in the corner there. It gives some of these teams where you're building fitness a chance to stay healthy and keep people on the field.
Speaking of substitutions, we'll have our first of the match. Turner Joy is headed off. And Hannah Eakins, the first year out of Washougal, is coming on.
Into the match for Clark College is number 28, Hannah Eakins.
She's going to slot right in the middle. No, not in the middle of the park. Where is she slotting in? She's going up top.
And playing as a 9.
Yep, they're going to try to shuffle the deck there a little bit.
Well, Rosenkrantz has drifted to the near side. And honestly, this is a little bit resembling more of a 4-4-2 at this point.
Well, you've got if you're playing a 3-5-2 and the ball's that deep, somebody's got to get back and defend because you need some pressure on the ball and then 3 players to fill those seams one way or the other. So they go back. Johnson,
another turnover.
Yep, she's dangerous and she's got a really good sense of when to step and make those plays. She was able to put that back under a lot of pressure and win it. And now Tacoma's able to settle the ball, and both these teams are used to having the majority of possession.
A miss hit 1-2, that time coming off of Hannah Gagley. Dave, when you're a team that your playing style revolves around having possession. Obviously, like you mentioned, these teams are used to dominating possession. One of them will probably be unable to do so in this match. How do you try to adjust your playing style and your rhythm when you're used to being on the ball?
Well, I think for both teams, they're going to try to establish that rhythm as much as they can when they have it. Tacoma, I think, is more comfortable than Clark playing on the counter, which I think is one of the reasons that Clark's going to probably have more of the ball, is Tacoma's a little more willing to sit back, and they have some pretty good playmakers in the back. You know, you got Cruz, you got Ricky playing as like a 6, so they're able to come out of the back quickly. Clark, I think, is going to be more dependent on having time on the ball to get forward, but they looked really dangerous. I mean, and 21 Topham, I think, is the player who, right now, Tacoma's been able to move the ball and move her and keep her off of the ball, and if she starts to dominate the ball a little bit, that's going to put Tacoma under a lot of pressure.
Brock going in against Castaneda, still on the ball is Brock. That's a low cross, and is dealt with some difficulty by the Penguins.
That's a matchup that Clark's going to have to figure out how to solve. Eva Brock is too dangerous to let go down that side like that. That's the 3rd or 4th time she's done it, and Clark has not yet come up with an answer, and that's really the vulnerability of that 3-5-2 is in the corners there. You've got an outside midfielder, and that outside back doesn't want to come out.
NWAC would like to thank Baden once again for supplying the official match ball of the NWAC Championships. Baden committed to developing and producing the highest quality products in sports and is driven by what is right for athletes. Baden, perform better. Ricky comes back near side to Brock.
Castaneda made a great play and then turned it over. Now she's got a 2-on-1, and she's going to, they're going to call that? Yep.
Referee ruling that Castaneda was dragged down by Brock.
Brock had her hands out, and I think she had a little bit of a case, honestly. She was playing 1-on-2 there and got sat on, and they called a foul on her.
Well, it's always so interesting these first couple minutes of a match to see, in terms of the shoulder-to-shoulder, how much of the referee is going to let play and what he's going to decide is or isn't a foul. And every referee is different. It's one of the peculiarities of the match.
Absolutely. And these, generally speaking, you get referees you've seen quite a bit. So there's a little bit less of a wild card in a league like the NWAC. It's really tough, you know, when you play in a league that competes nationally. You come out of the Cascade Conference in the NAI, you go to nationals in Alabama, and that's a real wild card. And it's the same for everybody. I mean, they're coming from all over the country, and the referees are too, so you really don't know what you're going to look at. And different regions definitely have a little different tolerance for contact.
It's a well-hit ball there. Beard gives chase. Kearsley comes out of her area, goes for the ball and spills it.
Yeah, well, she couldn't pick it up. She started to, I think she realized if she picked it up it was a handball, so she stopped herself. I don't know whether the referee gave her a mulligan on that or she didn't touch it. Now the ball, that's the ball, if I'm Tacoma, that I would be a little bit worried about, coming from the right side across to the left. Clark's got some kids that can get on the end of that, and I think that's the pattern that's going to be difficult for them to defend in this 3-5-2, because as those outside mids get up, you're playing 4-on-4 at the back and you're not getting any help. You can see Julian Johnson, the winger, 40 yards up the field. You're 1v1 back there. And here comes Kaylee Cruz out wide, covering for her center back, her wide defender that came out.
The cross in from Paul, looking for the head of Eakins. It's headed away.
Well won by O'Laughlin. Back in.
Kearsley has that one bounce down into her hands.
O'Laughlin did a terrific job shielding off Clark's attacking player there. That was the substitute. 28.
14th minute, no score here at Starfire Stadium.
Yeah, Hannah Eakins was in a great position, and O'Laughlin really was able to hold her off.
Rosenkrantz, the early ball.
Yep, won by Cruz.
Castaneda. Eakins looking to turn there.
Eakins and O'Laughlin, that battle is going to get more and more intense. They just had a little bit of afters on that little one touch by Eakins, and it'll be interesting to see how that develops.
Hannah Gagley tried to work that one right down the touchline. Rolled just foul for Aubrey Smith.
And Gagley's done a nice job, but the Brock, when she gets forward, that's the matchup that's really giving Clark trouble, honestly.
Tubner. Castaneda. Over the head of Brock. Eakins gives chase. O'Loughlin has the inside line. And Eakins muscles her off the ball.
This is a good spell for Clark. They've been able to win the ball, keep it moving, but they haven't really generated a shot.
Allison Beard. O'Loughlin with the header. Further by Rivera. Now Johnson. Head for Smith. Runs taking her wide. She's waiting on support.
One of the nice things for Clark, if you're playing a 3-back, you've got to have some really responsible wingers. And Beard and Finley do a terrific job getting forward and covering for each other on that right side.
Up for Newsom now. Tubner. Just been a real force at the holding midfield so far. She's done a lot of covering sideline to sideline.
Tubner's work rate is terrific, and when she gets on the ball, that's I think Clark's best thing is when she's winning it, she's in the middle of the park with the ball. But she cleans a lot. She cleans a lot up in that 6 role.
Castaneda looking for the home run ball. Comes off the back of Cruz's head. Kersley once more just dealing it away from the top penalty area.
She did a terrific job there. She came out. She read that play well. Cruz got ahead on it, but Tacoma definitely looks like they're hanging on a bit in the back right now. And Cruz had to cover for Duffy out on the side the last time, and Clark was able to get across it.
Smith going wide for Johnson. Big touches from Johnson, a foot race to the byline. She held it in. Well, she did, but it's turned over to the defender.
Yeah, she did a good job keeping it in, but she couldn't get enough power on it to really pull it back across the face of goal. It was a good run. Tacoma has been able to get into those corners, which if you're playing a 3-5-2, that's what you're worried about.
Castaneda loses out to Newsom there, wins the throw-in. Centralia College is your college for associate degrees, bachelor's degrees, and job training. Apply now to get a jump on classes and financial aid. Application is easy and free. Visit www.centralia.edu for details. Centralia College, go boldly.
Madison Still.
Two more substitutions for Clark. Maddie Topham going in up top. And they've moved Kayla Sills around. I think they've got a new winger over on the right side somewhere. Trying to figure out which number it is.
A throw into Smith, and that's another corner for the Titans. Kayla Sills has come in.
And Bauer for Kayla Sills, I think, was in, but Bauer?
I have it as it was Kayla Beard out on the perimeter, and I think she's sat down to be replaced by Sills.
Okay. Never trust a coach on substitutions.
For Tacoma to be taken by number 2, Amanda Ricky.
Well, we'll see if Ricky does something different.
Well, it looks like they're going to at least give themselves the option of a short corner here. Clark sends out 2 players, so at that point, probably they'll just play it into the box, and they do.
Looking to screen Higgins a little bit. Dealt with by the first defender. Now it's Topham. Going ahead toward Eakins. Turned over to Cruz.
Now they've got Ricky a center mid out wide where she could serve, but Higgins cuts that out easily.
College athletes follow traditions of excellence in soccer, volleyball, basketball, and baseball.
Well, it's been a pretty open match. Maybe a little bit more open than we were expecting from the get-go, but Tacoma, despite being what you might call underdogs, they're up for it.
Well, these are both teams that are capable of scoring goals and have offensive players who have some personality and skillful players. who want to play, and I think and coaches who want to encourage that. I mean, both Jill Green and Jeff Castagnola, and he's got his secret non-rostered assistant there, Sean Jansen, who coached at Clark for a number of years very successfully, on the bench with him. And those are coaches who are really committed to positive soccer and people playing. And you wouldn't really expect either of these teams to close up shop. I think Tacoma is willing to sit back and play a little bit deeper, but they're still very much capable of playing and very committed to getting forward when they get the ball.
Tubner's attempted long ball picked out. Here's Brock.
She can win this.
And she has got some space in the lane. She draws Castaneda.
Castaneda does a terrific job shielding her off and giving the outside midfielder there, Rosenkrantz, a chance to I think, switch sides. I think that's probably Castagnola trying to shore up that left side of the Clark defense, moving Rosenkrantz over, trying to give Brock a harder time, and they succeeded there.
Brock couldn't quite hold that one in play. And Clark College in Vancouver, Washington is enrolling for winter quarter. Whether you want to advance your career, complete a degree, or earn your high school diploma, Clark College can help you reach your goals. Visit clark.edu to learn more. Clark College has been trying to reach a couple of goals here in the first half, but haven't been able to get anything past Kersley.
No, they had a couple of good chances, and Kearsley, the longer she can hang in there and, you make a couple of mistakes, you start to gain some confidence. She did a terrific job dealing with the last through ball and clearing it. Nice ball in from Ricky. And there's Brock again, trying to get on the end of that.
O'Loughlin back for Ricky. Newsom loses out to Eakins. And Eakins just with the quick go-ahead ball. No one will be able to chase that down.
You're never really thrilled to see your 9 play a long ball like that. You're like, well, you're the kid who's supposed to be the target, so when you're hitting that, who's supposed to be running after that thing? But it does give Clark a chance to set back up, and here they come again.
Rosenkrantz into the middle. This time it's Sills. Eakins.
Julian Johnson did a good job working back there to win that ball. Force Clark back.
Allison Finley gets beyond everyone, and Kearsley more than happy to let that one bounce into her hands.
She did a terrific job coming out. Brock came back, but it was 2v1 there. Clark had 2 strikers matched up on number 8, O'Loughlin, for Tacoma. That was a little bit of a dangerous ball.
Beard has it now. Tuber to tie. Castaneda. Tacoma's line of confrontation is right there at the perimeter of the defensive third. They've not made it easy for Clark to find any inroads moving into the attacking third.
No, they've done a good job, and they're working hard. Now they're staying together to now step up and press. So both of these teams well organized, well coached. But Clark does a good job sort of working out of the pressure there.
Topham wants Rosenkrantz down line.
That was asking a lot of Rosenkrantz.
Well, it's the right idea, just not quite the right ball.
And Tacoma's going to work the other way. But Ty wins it over to Topham, and here comes Clark.
This is Beard.
Kaylee Cruz cleans that up. And now Julian Johnson can go the other way.
Julie Williams hasn't had too much to do there in the middle of the park. She's stood strong when she needed to on some crosses that come in, but most of the action for Tacoma has been out on the periphery.
Yeah, it's basically been Brock coming down the right side. And so far, Clark's dealt with everything that came out of that pretty effectively. Williams did a nice job stepping out and getting a foot on a corner. Clark has committed a couple fouls. Eakins, I know, got her arms out. Made it easy for the official to make a call earlier on our side. This is dead center. That's just another chance for Ricky to play in a set play.
This is a distance that she can be dangerous from. She's already shown us that with her last set piece. We'll see what she decides to do with this one. Host options setting up shop wide of the left post. Ricky goes on the ground for Rivera. Higgins off her line. She slides down and gets to the ball.
Higgins read that pretty well. They had everybody to the left, and they fooled Clark. They got the player. They got a girl in. Who was that, 24? Not sure who that is for the Titans as the ball comes all the way down the field.
That was Mackenzie Rivera.
Yeah, Mackenzie Rivera made it. It was a nice run. It was obviously a good training ground move that it's always nice to get into the playoffs and have a couple training ground plays like that to that nobody's seen yet this season, and that was one. Rivera made a nice run, just couldn't quite get on the end of it.
Turner Joy back on for Rosenkrantz, who will grab some rest here in the 26th minute. Kayla Beard over to play on the left side. This is Topham.
Yeah, it's their third. Clark, this is their third player on the left side going up against Brock as they keep looking for an answer to kind of shut that problem down for themselves.
Might be a problem that's solved by committee. So far, that's definitely been the plan from Jeff Cassignola.
Well, it's a pretty good plan, too. I mean, if you don't want to try to match up and move somebody out of the middle or something, then, hey, we'll try to keep people fresh and wear her down a little bit. The more that they can run at Brock and keep her in the back line, the less she's threatening Clark's defense. Williams does a good job there. And Castagnola's had a terrific game for Clark. Another nice diagonal, but easily cut out by Cruz in the end.
Gagley loses her footing. Castaneda immediately all over. And O'Loughlin past midfield.
Well won in the air there by Kayla Beard, the substitute, back on.
Rivera has it. Gagley making the run up the near sideline. Johnson the run up the far. And instead it's picked away by Tuber. Pardon me, Tubner.
Tubner.
Ball for Eakins. Kersley. Another real close call.
Tubner did a terrific job. It was Tacoma numbers up, looking to play a ball into a seam. Tubner cuts it out. A couple touches, and she finds the seam for Clark. Kersley alertly off her line to shut that down. She hesitated, and I think it was Eakins was in.
Well, we're going to see Natalie Paul back on for the Penguins. Anna Eakins going to head to the bench. Meanwhile, Gagley stepping off for the Titans. And we'll see the first action out of Cassandra Smack.
Casey Smack coming in, and she's a little bit of a game changer as a substitute. Really strong ball winner. Tough, powerful player.
And Jill Green is having Smack check in over on this right side, so it kind of looks like
the battle's going to get fought right over here.
Power strong, overload right.
And Smack played last year primarily, and early this season she's played primarily as a 6. So it's interesting to see her out on the wing. I don't know if that's something new for today or something they've been doing as the season progressed. But having her on top of Brock is giving you a pretty strong look on that side of the field.
Ricky has it.
It also means that they may call it a 4-3-3, but it's really become more of a 4-5-1. You have Smack who's a midfielder. Johnston's coming back pretty deep. You've really got the one striker hanging forward. Or a 4-4, or sort of an unbalanced 4-4-2, because Smack's not going to get forward as a winger there the same way.
Hannah Ty going ahead for Joy. And Joy wins a corner, the first of the match for the Penguins.
And Tacoma's going to match up man-to-man here rather than zone.
Corner kick for the Penguins.
they'll try to get into some people's bodies and prevent them from making runs. But right now, they're having trouble. Now they've sorted out their matchups.
Castaneda for the in-swinger.
Great ball in.
Chop ball. Free header for Tubner at the back post. You just couldn't direct it back on goal.
That's what you draw up, right? You put the ball at the far post. You get one of your really powerful players, Tubner, there to win it. She'd gotten separation from O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin really lost her, frankly, and that could have gone anywhere. Fortunately for Tacoma, it went wide.
30th minute, 0-0 here at Starfire Stadium. Andrew Harvey alongside Dave Morris for you here. Dave, this has been a very open, entertaining, and open first half hour of this match. You have to imagine that we might see more of the same moving forward.
I think so. Well, it's been interesting in that really Clark's created two gilt-edged chances that both players who were wide open at the far post weren't able to get much on the ball, and you kind of forget they didn't force a save. On the other side, Tacoma, when they've created chances, they've gotten the shot on frame. Another substitution for Clark.
That's Judith Nunez Robles, first year out of Woodland.
Returning to the match for Clark, number 9, Judith Nunez Robles.
Early ball in. Kearsley grabs that one right out of the air.
Well struck from outside. Kearsley did well to hang on to it. Clark definitely had people hanging around if there was a mistake.
Smack and Beard fighting for it on the sideline. Beard shepherds it out.
They're continuing a battle they started last year. Kayla Sills able to force a throw in there.
And Clark just kind of trying to grind their way down the field, get themselves into an attacking position.
Yeah, they've put some balls over the top. I think Tacoma's been able to deal with those, the direct route. So now Clark's got to try some other ideas, getting wide, putting some good crosses in.
Aubrey Smith chasing down Williams here. Smith wins that off Williams.
And draws the foul. Well, I think Smith was hoping referee would have given that advantage another second to develop, but it's a terrific opportunity for Ricky to serve a ball in. As the referee stops the game to move, I think that's Beard back.
And Ricky might actually let this one go. Yeah. That ball driven to the far post. Higgins able to deal with it.
Yeah, Higgins really not troubled terribly by that one.
Came off the foot of Ava Duffy.
It was a good hit. Duffy, was able to serve it, put something on it.
Now Clark in transition. Nunez Robles goes for Beard. And I believe that's Newsom coming all the way back from the attacking midfield to break that up.
Both teams working hard. They're disciplined. They cover for each other. Smack a little bit slow to get back, the substitute. And Robles hasn't scored a goal this year, and she's had limited appearances, but she's had an assist every game.
Well, there's a slight delay. I think they're looking for the ball. Might have rolled away.
Yeah, it's tough in the Pacific Northwest. You really depend on the stadium rather than ball people usually, and if it rolls a little bit beyond the bleachers, you get a little bit of a walk there. Nice little ball.
Sills coming down. O'Loughlin.
O'Loughlin's been steady. O'Loughlin and Cruz as a center back pairing are really solid, and they've been tested and they've continued to come up big. There's Tubner back on the ball again. Once again, if I'm Jill Green, this is what I don't want to see. I don't want to see Clark with Tubner in the center circle looking up at my defense, trying to pick out a pass.
Joy misses on the far sideline. Find success at Pierce College. Selected as one of the top 10 best community colleges in the nation, Pierce College offers more than 60 programs of study. Get started today at one of the nation's premier community colleges. Apply online at www.pierce.ctc.edu. Pierce College. Possibilities realized. And here's another possibility that might be realized for Clark College.
Yeah, this is really Clark's first free kick in a dangerous position. And Tibner puts the ball down. Referee's going to stop the clock and move the wall back. I would think she's going to take a shot at testing O'Kearsley here. Not worry about doing anything cute. Just see what she can do in terms of a high ball bending into the one side or the other of the net. She's got the wall. She's right behind her wall. There's room.
Right foot driven effort. Kearsley with the parry. It's still loose inside
diving
the area.
Save. It's loose.
And Paul
Another
once
save.
more into Kearsley. Boy, a big double save from Kira Ellie Kearsley.
She came up big on that second shot. The first shot, I think she put herself in a tough position. She was sort of behind the wall, not really where you'd want her necessarily. She got across and made the save, but because she was a little bit out of position, she had to palm it away instead of catching it. Tacoma worked hard there to make it tough to put the rebound in, but Paul shook loose there. What was that, about an 8-yard shot? And she was right off her line and didn't give a lot of room and was able to make the save. Big play to keep it 0-0. Clark's really third good chance of the day, and their first one where they were able to generate, a real shot. They generate two, and she comes up big.
Well, that's definitely a moment that'll get the adrenaline flowing probably for both these coaches and all the players down there.
Well, that's really the first scoring, close-in scoring opportunity that either team's had where they were able to, get it on the frame and force a save. So glad we've drawn a little blood there, and you've got some really good attacking players on both sides with, an opportunity to do something. So should be interesting. Now Cruz under pressure.
Finds the outlet to Duffy on the far side. And Johnson unable to hold it in. Less than 10 to go here in the first half. These sides now have a pretty solid understanding, I think, of what they're going to expect out of their opponent for the rest of this match. And
yeah, if you're looking at any real sign, one of them is that I think Tacoma has sort of, they would probably still tell you they're playing a 4-3-3, but they have basically been forced into playing a one front or a two front by Clark's pressure.
Here's Tubner, ball into the back post. Kearsley with it once more.
Kearsley caught that, and she had to be perfect there because, once again, Clark had a player at the far post.
Casey Smack nearly loses her footing on the track. It's the one potential
Dangerous
downside.
ball
this might
in.
fall for Paul. Can she control it? Gets beyond Kearsley. It's in the back of the net. 37th minute, and Clark takes the lead. Well, Paul, not the prettiest finish of her career, but anyone that crosses the goal line counts.
Hey, she did a great job. She stayed central. She got in between O'Loughlin and Cruz, who got separated there a little bit. Cruz, right after the goal, you could see her a little frustrated with herself. I think if she had it to do over, she would have positioned herself differently. But Casey Smack hustled to keep that ball in. Unfortunately, she was able to sort of tee it up for Clark to play the ball right back in. And, nice first goal. And now there's going to be a couple substitutions for Tacoma. They moved
And number 10, Haley Sargent.
They moved one of their starting midfielders back to be outside back there for William. I'm trying to get everybody's numbers straightened out here.
Gagley's gone to left back for Duffy.
Yep.
And then we've seen the introduction of Haley Sargent, first year out of La Jolla. I actually had a chance to see Sargent play last year when she was still in high school, calling the WIAA 1A, 2A semifinals and finals.
Yeah, she had a good season last year. And
once again, the goal scored by number 5, Natalie Paul. The assist, number 21, Sarah Teutner.
And this is a dangerous moment for Tacoma. Clark is, when they score one, they tend to want to get forward. You've got Casey Smack over on this side, being pushed way back. Julian Johnson, same thing. It really turns into a 4-5-1 here.
We'd like to thank Baden Balls for supplying the official game balls in the NWAC Championship Tournament and for all
Castaneda.
events.
Well, her service finds Joy. She'll try to turn it in. This might
Good
fall
little
for
flick.
Sills.
Amanda Ricky's all the way in the box in the back line. There's your 6 playing behind your center backs. Did a nice job digging that ball out, but here comes Clark on the right side.
Johnson gets it downfield. Tacoma
Referee's having a conversation. I think they're saying Johnson hit it off. I thought she hit it off one of the Clark players, and eventually the center referee decided he thought so too.
I looked that way from up here certainly, and well,
but
that
they
one
turned it right back over.
Looked like exactly what it was as well.
It's going to take this is where Tacoma really just needs to ride out the next couple of minutes, and that's not what you want to see.
Tubner through now for Beard. She might get to this ball. And
another corner.
But who was it coming back to apply the pressure? It was Brock once more. She's been good moving forward. And
that's Brock versus Beard match. That's been Clark's best matchup on her. And Brock was able to concede a corner but prevent a goal-scoring opportunity. But once again, you've got Tubner in there, and she's been giving, real. She got that ball, was able to play it in, and now she's going to serve in this corner.
Number 21.
And Clark right now at the far post, they've got 3 players, and I think Tacoma's short a marker. Yep, it's 4-on-3 at the far post. There's going to be somebody open. She's open and heads it over the bar.
Back across the net.
But that's the second corner kick that they've had and the second free header they've generated at the far post.
That was Courtney Cutter, who's been on the field since the opening minute. Haven't had much occasion to call her name, but pretty well-weighted header. Just
she got loose there. You could see there were numbers up there. She sat at the far post, attacked the ball, did a nice job. And here's Brock.
Beard.
This time out. Beard wins that one. Amanda Ricky out of the midfield to deal with her.
Beard pressing to the byline. Ricky muscles her off the ball. Castaneda trying to cut out the clearance. Now it's Smack. Back for Tubner. And knocked away from Paul.
Well done by Laughlin, but only as far as Tubner, and they're going to let that go wide for a goal. What is it? In behind, as they say.
Oh, another substitution now for the Penguins. This is Samantha Rosenkrantz returning. Nunez Robles checking out. Dave, you were kind of alluding to it a moment ago before that goal opportunity developed. How important is it now for Tacoma to get into halftime just down 1-0? That's a recoverable deficit.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and honestly, it's 2-0's a recoverable deficit too at this level. But psychologically, it's definitely better if you can hold. I mean, obviously, it's easier to score 1 than 2. So that's what you're looking for. And this is actually, I think, a couple times where the ball goes out and Brock can walk over and get it and just slow the tempo down. Clark scores, they get excited. Now they're buzzing all over the field, and you want to settle that down and be able to go back to the rhythm of the game that we were playing, which Tacoma's definitely in this. They're not even down a second goal. I think you look at your team at halftime and you say next goal wins.
Castaneda all the way out for a goal kick.
Yep, under pressure from Smack for 25 yards, but Castaneda held strong, and that seems to be one of the adjustments that's really worked for Clark, is putting Beard on top of Castaneda has really limited Brock going forward. And that's eliminated Tacoma's best attacking option. Tacoma hasn't really come up with an answer for that. And I think, realistically, putting Smack on was an attempt to shift that balance, but I don't think that at the moment you'd have to say that hasn't really worked out, for at least from the Tacoma side of it.
Well, it sounds like the rain might be picking up again a little bit here at Starfire Stadium.
Well, it's a great English soccer day. Let that throw-in go.
Yeah, very rare you see the foul throw called nowadays, and it seems to be increasing in prevalence because of it.
Absolutely, but good battle, and now, Tacoma, it took a couple minutes. They found their footing again, and they're forward, pressuring Clark now.
This will fall for Ricky. Squared into Newsom. Looking for Sargent. She's upended. And the flag is up for offside.
I think the referee got bailed out there. He had a real interesting decision to make as that ball came through about what he was going to do, and then, okay, offsides. I don't have to worry about contact or anything else there. Ricky wins that ball.
Head for Smith, trying to work the one-touch pass to Smack out in the wide channel. Smack disrupts Castaneda. Haley Sargent, first year trying to battle out there.
She's doing a great job. She's up against some people who are pretty tough too. But she's done a good job working hard. And then Clark able to sit on that ball a little bit. Well, they're going to make that pass work.
Finley on the far side. Back to Williams. We're in the 45th minute.
Officials, a good time to remind everybody at home that official time in the NWAC is kept on the field. So there will be a couple minutes of added time, I'm sure.
Castaneda.
Oh, Brock went for it. Cruz goes for it. It's still loose. Eakins back in there.
Laughlin coming up the back.
Calls over Ricky. Brock settles it, but only as far as, I think that's
Hannah Ty. Casey Smack down line for Smith. Smack ties up with Williams. They're allowed to continue.
Huh. Referee pointed as if that foul was on Williams, and I think Smith got away with one there.
Yeah, from our perspective, certainly there appeared to be an arm wrapped around a back, but
well, I really like the no call there. They're hand fighting there. They're grabbing each other, and it was a good competition.
Well, we've hit halftime here at Starfire Stadium. The Clark Penguins lead 1-0 on the 37th minute goal from Natalie Paul over the Tacoma Titans. We'll take a break here on the NWAC Digital Network. But before we do, we remind you that the NWAC would like to thank Baden for championships.
Merchandise tent outside the facility. You will find all.
But we'll take a break here.
NWAC merchandise.
Clark leads Tacoma.
Under Armour merchandise.
I am strong.
I won't give up.
I put my heart into the game.
I learned from my mistakes.
Focus.
Determination.
Confidence.
I trust my gut.
No limits.
Preparation.
Dedication.
Leadership. I want to make my team and family proud.
And be an inspiration for other girls who like sports.
Join the movement.
Red Lion Hotels Corporation is built to thrive. With innovative programming and in-the-know staff, our hotel brands offer guests great stays and a chance to immerse in local culture. Red Lion Hotels and Red Lion Inn & Suites are better than ever. For travelers who want to get lost and discover adventure, we open the door to the best local experiences. We have reinvented the loyalty program. Introducing Hello Rewards, the first recognition-based loyalty program that encourages members to go further, fly higher, travel better, with tailor-made rewards. And we're not stopping yet. Presenting Hotel RL, our newest hotel brand. Inspired by the natural beauty of the Pacific Northwest, an uplifting, relaxed atmosphere, a staff that loves what they do. For adventurers at heart, Hotel RL will inspire an amazing journey. Our future has never been brighter. 3 strong brands, an expanding portfolio, industry-leading innovation with turnkey solutions, simple fee structures, areas of protection, continued support from day one. We make partnerships easy. Reach a new breed of traveler with RLHC.
We see you. Be your creative self at Clark College.
WWCC is affordable. Find your way. Attend part-time. Direct transfer. Join the fun at WWCC. WWCC is affordable. Find your way. Attend part-time. Direct transfer. Join the fun at WWCC.
I chose Centralia College because I really felt like school, academic-wise and soccer-wise, it would be a good fit for me. And then I come here and I play, and it's like the competition is crazy, and I don't think the label of community college means anything to the skill that people have. My name is Gabby, and I play soccer at Centralia College, and I go boldly.
We see you. Be your curious self at Clark College.
I chose Centralia College because I really felt like school, academic-wise and soccer-wise, it would be a good fit for me. And then I come here and I play, and it's like the competition is crazy, and I don't think the label of community college means anything to the skill that people have. My name is Gabby, and I play soccer at Centralia College, and I go boldly.
Training is definitely making myself better, but I know that it's going to end up making my teammates better.
You have to know your teammate and know what they need.
The cohesion on the field and off the field is what makes everyone strong.
Being on a team, you know it's not just you out there.
I would do anything for the player next to me, behind me, in front of me.
Practicing day in and day out, trying to be the best me so they can be the best them. It's like a sisterhood that you have with those girls.
It's just really empowering. They're all doing crazy things. And you want to be like them, and you want to push yourself like them.
Motivates me to work harder, to get faster, quicker.
Pushing each other so hard, all for the same goal. And then when you accomplish it, that's the best feeling in the world.
Once you tap into that, I think you're unstoppable.
I am strong.
I won't give up.
I put my heart into the game.
I learned from my mistakes.
Focus.
Determination.
Confidence.
I trust my gut.
No limits.
Preparation.
Dedication.
Leadership. I want to make my team and family proud.
Be an inspiration for other girls who like sports.
Join the movement.
Red Lion Hotels Corporation is built to thrive. With innovative programming and in-the-know staff, our hotel brands offer guests great stays and a chance to immerse in local culture. Red Lion Hotels and Red Lion Inn & Suites are better than ever. For travelers who want to get lost and discover adventure, we open the door to the best local experiences. We have reinvented the loyalty program. Introducing Hello Rewards, the first recognition-based loyalty program that encourages members to go further, fly higher, travel better, with tailor-made rewards. And we're not stopping yet. Presenting Hotel RL, our newest hotel brand. Inspired by the natural beauty of the Pacific Northwest, an uplifting, relaxed atmosphere, a staff that loves what they do. For adventurers at heart, Hotel RL will inspire an amazing journey. Our future has never been brighter. 3 strong brands, an expanding portfolio, industry-leading innovation with turnkey solutions, simple fee structures, areas of protection, continued support from day one. We make partnerships easy. Reach a new breed of traveler with RLHC.
We see you. Be your creative self at Clark College.
WWCC is affordable. Find your way. Attend part-time. Direct transfer. Join the fun at WWCC. WWCC is affordable. Find your way. Attend part-time. Direct transfer. Join the fun at WWCC.
I chose Centralia College because I really felt like school, academic-wise and soccer-wise, it would be a good fit for me. And then I come here and I play, and it's like the competition is crazy, and I don't think the label of community college means anything to the skill that people have. My name is Gabby, and I play soccer at Centralia College, and I go boldly.
We see you. Be your curious self at Clark College.
I chose Centralia College because I really felt like school, academic-wise and soccer-wise, it would be a good fit for me. And then I come here and I play, and it's like the competition is crazy, and I don't think the label of community college means anything to the skill that people have. My name is Gabby, and I play soccer at Centralia College, and I go boldly.
Training is definitely making myself better, but I know that it's going to end up making my teammates better.
You have to know your teammate and know what they need.
The cohesion on.
Welcome back to Starfire Stadium. First half in the books between Clark College and the Tacoma Titans. Clark leading 1-0 on the back of a Natalie Paul goal. Fans, don't forget to check out the official tournament merchandise for t-shirts, sweatshirts, Under Armour gear, and more. Everything is fully customizable. Get your tournament gear today. Supplies are limited. Visit nwacstore.com/NWAC. Follow the NWAC on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for all the latest NWAC news. Also visit nwacsports.org for the most recent information on schedules, scores, stats, and more. Andrew Harvey alongside Dave Morris for you here on the NWAC Digital Network. And Dave, like we said, it was an entertaining first half of soccer. Clark manages to get the goal, but Tacoma have still been threatening.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's been a great, open game, good advertisement for NWAC soccer in general. I think the second half is really going to run for Tacoma. Can they solve the right side? They were, for the first half hour, their route out of the back was through Brock on the right side. Clark, with about a quarter hour to go there, sort of cleaned that up. And since then, Tacoma's been a little bit more bottled up. You've got two strong offenses that can generate chances and score goals. And I think if Tacoma can start to get forward, it's still anybody's game at 1-0, obviously. And like I said, I think even at two goals could win it. I think it'll be tough to have. I wouldn't want to be Clark trying to ride out a 1-0 game, although we'll see how it goes early in the second half.
Well, for each of these teams, if you're head coach Jill Green or Jeff Cascagnola, what is your message to your team? What do you need to see out of them in these first 10 minutes from each side?
Well, I think the first thing, you're just talking about winning balls in the air and really competing. But for Tacoma, I think you've got to come up with a solution on that, either a solution on the right side or a solution about how you're going to move over to the left. If Clark used 3 different players in front of Castaneda on the left side there for them on their left, and that means they're giving you a little bit more on the right. Julian Johnson's a dangerous attacking player, and how are we going to get her involved to feed? And also, do you want to take Kaylee Cruz out of the middle and put her on the left side and now have 2 really strong flank players who like to get forward and sort of bomb forward and see what you can do? Because that's the other thing. If Clark has to work that hard to stop Brock, they're not going to have a lot of bandwidth left over to deal with Cruz coming down the opposite side. The question is, for Tacoma, do they have somebody who can fill that central spot and keep them tight at the back? Because it doesn't do you any good to get forward a couple times if you're going to give up an easy chance on a counter. Looks like Tacoma did decide to make a change there. They've got Brock on the right. They still have Cruz in the middle, and they're going to go with number 22. Is that right? 24? Is that yeah, 20. Yeah, 22. She started out as Haley Galley on the left side in the back there. She started up top for him in the first half, and now she's playing left back. Meanwhile, Clark, as you'd expect, no changes there. And they're right back out, another long ball in that Cruz picked out.
Oh, looks like there's a new keeper in goal for the Titans. Aaliyah Encino now between the sticks.
Yep, freshman out of Kentridge. So Kearsley took care of the first half, and now Encino's taking care of the second half. I think that's what they did in the quarterfinal game as well. So I think that's kind of how they've approached games. I don't think that was a judgment on Kearsley or anything. I think it's just a standard substitution for them. They've got two decent keepers. It should be interesting.
Newsome coming to apply pressure on Higgins.
Higgins really solid, not really challenged by that ball. Nice job coming out, but she's been really solid. Sophomore out of Mark Morris in Longview.
Here's Ricky. Newsom gets it beyond Beard. Julian Johnson.
Yeah, you see Johnson's playing more central now. So she was out on the left in the first half. They've got her central, and they've got Newsom out on the left side. I think that's going to give them a little bit of a different look. Johnson's a little more of a hold-up player, a little more effective that way, and deceptively fast.
And also allows the opportunity for Jill Green to drop Aubrey Smith kind of back into something of the 10 role.
Yep, and she's got Smack back out there on the right side as well. So I wonder if they're really going to try to play more of a 4-3-3 as opposed to a 4-5-1 and just if they've briefed Casey Smack, or if they're going to, it's more of an unbalanced 4-4-2.
Here's Tubner.
Tubner's still doing a terrific job just settling and being the fulcrum of most of what Clark does.
Nunez Robles heads it over O'Loughlin, still being a pest. Joy has it on the far side. Back pass to Castaneda. And it's a throw-in, I believe.
I don't know if I would call that a pass back to Castaneda. I'm sure Castaneda was excited to see the ball coming out her that way. Sort of the classic hospital ball.
Pardon me, a free kick was given.
Oh, there we go.
The NWAC would like to thank Highline College for hosting the NWAC Soccer Championships. Many staff and volunteers helped make this event a success. Pardon me there, Dave.
Oh, no worry. There's Rivera flicked that ball on. Johnson just couldn't quite figure out where she won it and then couldn't quite corral it. Now she's working to try to get it back.
Newsom.
Just not on the same page with Johnson there, but a good idea. Now Ricky's got it.
Kayla Sills. Boxing her out. Ball to Findley. One back by Hannah Ty. Natalie Paul, the goal scorer from the first half. Hard ball there. Rivera, listen, on a cold day.
Grabbing her arm because she stuck her arm out and blocked it. No call. Thought that was a little bit obvious. Like, oh, this is real. Oh, that was a really dangerous ball coming from the right side to the left. Clark was a little slow to get back, and number 7, Newsom, was making a run at the far post. If that ball hadn't been cut out by the center back, she was in.
O'Loughlin with it here. She wins the free kick. Train rolling by at Starfire Stadium. Kind of part of the charm of this atmosphere. It's also, you know, Starfire Sports sits under the approach angle for Boeing Field, so if you're an aviation enthusiast, there's always something interesting in the skies.
From a coaching standpoint, there's always something loud nearby. So there, it gives both teams ample opportunity to not get coached for a few minutes. Because honestly, as that train goes by, no matter what you do from the bench, nobody can hear it.
Starfire also the home to Sounders FC for their training purposes in MLS, and the Trains have been known to wreck many an audio sample during post-practice availability. Ball into Johnson. Ooh, Johnson off the right post. Went for the volley as that one dropped in.
Wow, once again, Eva Brock got possession on the right side. Perfectly weighted ball. Johnson, perfect run, one touch, beat the keeper, but unfortunately for Tacoma, a little bit outside the frame. But there's Tacoma serving notice that this is a little bit different this half.
Tubner up toward Nunez Robles. Joy, Ty.
But also
might fall for Johnson, looking for support.
Yeah, she was looking for Newsom, but I think that was a no-look pass, and Newsom hadn't quite gotten there yet.
Paul charging in, Cruz the first one to it. Does well to win the throw-in off of Paul.
Interesting for Clark, they've got Kayla Beard back on the right side here. I think that's right. Yep, she's back on the right side, and Brock got loose again against Rosenkrantz. So Tacoma not having to, Jill Green didn't have to adjust because Clark made the change and got out of the way a little bit. We'll see if they don't switch that back.
Well, there goes Turner Joy off that right side. And this is Samantha Rosenkrantz who comes in.
Oh, I'm sorry. So Joy was over there. Yep. 6-minute run, and she comes off. Give Brock somebody new to run at.
Castaneda. Switch to Beard. Ahead for Paul, and there's Cruz once more. Beard can't hold the ball in play. Well, the center back pairing of Cruz and O'Loughlin has held up pretty well so far. The goal, really the only moment that they haven't been stellar in that back line.
Absolutely. No, they've done a terrific job. They're a strong back line. They've only given up, I forget, we were looking at it earlier, was it 13 goals on the season or something like that?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So they're pretty solid back there. Here comes Smack pressuring Castaneda. And there's Brock. Ball comes forward. Smack couldn't quite hang on to that one, but for right now, I think that if I'm Tacoma, I want to see the ball on that side of the field. I think we can. I think if you're Tacoma, you're thinking we can get something out of that right side and play some more balls into Johnson and find Newsom and Aubrey Smith with some crosses. And that seems to be kind of what they're focused on doing.
Flick on from Rivera. Rosenkrantz. Beard underneath this ball. Heads it up toward Paul. Beard takes over. And now has a little bit of space. Gagley comes in.
Well, I think what Castagnola is thinking for Clark would be, moving Kayla Beard over to their left side shuts down Brock. Putting her on the right side leaves Beard loose to really create a lot of havoc on Tacoma's left side, which she's been able to do. She's really kept that whole left side busy. Kaylee Cruz 2 or 3 times has to step in and intervene and just clear the ball out to prevent an attack.
Might be a bit of a philosophy then of trying to leave Beard out there to, like you said, create possibly another goal, and then once that goal has been done, put her over on the left to shut out Brock.
Could be. Well, and the best defense is a good offense sometimes. So if you can force Tacoma back, here comes the switch.
Looking for Smack.
Smith finds Smack. This is Smith versus Castaneda. Smack's holding her off so far. She's a big, strong player.
Gets to the corner.
Going 2-on-1 in the corner there. Johnson's trying to figure out how to help. Smack played that out.
A little bit slow back to her feet. Nice physical contest down in the corner, but a clean one as well, and that's always what you want to see.
Oh, yeah. No, 2 strong players in a physical battle. Anybody who thinks soccer is a non-contact sport, just watch that for a second and be corrected. Tacoma, they're stepping Brock up, try to keep this throwing in. She got a foot on it.
Turn over to Smith. Newsom moving into the middle. Brock keeps it alive. Now a bit of a cross. That one comes toward Higgins.
Higgins made a nice play to cut that out. Once again, there was a player open at the far post. Number 7 there, Newsom. She slipped in behind the outside back, and that ball's a little deeper, and there's problems for Clark.
Well, 56th minute.
Plenty of time left. And this one, I think both teams are really looking for another. I think both teams are in a mode thinking, Clark, if we can get one more goal, we can put this thing to bed. And obviously for Tacoma, if they can get a goal, it starts a new game.
Newsom back to Gagley. Draws the free kick. Referee waited to see what was the result of the ball away from Gagley.
Gagley did a good job there. Cut past Beard, drew the foul. Clark content to make him take a little time there. And then Tacoma wants to talk about who's taking the free kick, and they take some time.
O'Loughlin, ball with a lot of backspin up toward Rivera. Gets beyond her and Ty. Tubner gets it off Smith. Castaneda. Past Nunez Robles.
This is a foul call, yep.
They're saying that I believe Ava Brock wound up getting a bit of a shove against Nunez Robles.
It's going to give Tubner another chance to serve a ball in. If you're Tacoma, you really want to limit this. And right now, once again, Clark's got an extra player over there. They're playing 5-on-4 on the right side.
Tubner pushes that toward goal and misses high.
Nothing wrong with taking a shot there, but a little bit of a let-off for Tacoma. Clark had 5-on-4. They had an open runner at the far post. And
entering the match,
you take a shot over the goal, and you eliminate that advantage.
Maddie Topham and Hannah Eakins back on for the Clark Penguins.
Clark's well served. You know, they play a pretty deep roster. And, you know, if you're thinking about ahead to Sunday, getting more players involved today, but also keeping some legs at least a little bit fresh. It's always really challenging in any collegiate championship. It's always Friday, Sunday. And just having a little bit more in the tank for that second day is a big deal. And there's Eakins with a nice win.
Topham going ahead to Rosenkrantz. Ricky going way downfield. Johnson giving chase. Finley, the back pass to Higgins.
Newsom can get on the top of this.
Quickly in for Smith. Smack
got
wants
Smack
it
wide.
Tied up on the recovery by Rosenkrantz.
Rosenkrantz did a great job to come back. Smack had called for the ball, got it, didn't realize Rosenkrantz was coming back at about 50 miles an hour.
Smack tried to chop it across there. Sort of looked like one of those crosses where she was hoping it would just bank off the defender, go out for a corner, wound up coming all the way to Higgins.
Yeah, I think, well, she figured if she chopped that in and it wasn't blocked, it was a good cross, and you figure if you knock it off a defender like that, you're getting a corner out of it, and she ended up with neither as it bounced right to the goalkeeper. But Higgins has certainly looked pretty sure of herself, and Tacoma has yet to really challenge her. And the back three for Clark: Castaneda, Williams, and number 18, is that right?
Allison Finley.
Really looking solid right now.
Nicked away from Topham by O'Loughlin.
Topham, you know, she played that little one-touch ball. She didn't realize there wasn't anybody on her. She had turned. There was nothing between her and the Tacoma goal.
Rosenkrantz, the 1-2. To the byline.
Brock with a great recovery, but she concedes a corner.
Third of the match for the Penguins. Tubner will line it up again.
Corner kick.
Yep, and you know what they're going to do now. Unless they've got I don't know why they would want to make a big change. They've outnumbered Tacoma at the far post and had a free header twice. So you'd think they're going to look to do that again. And you'd think Jill, who's a terrific coach, that was one of the halftime talk high points was, hey, we need to make sure we organize our back post. And sure enough, they've got an extra player back there now, and their number's even.
Tubner ball in toward Topham. Crowd in the box. And knocked away by O'Loughlin.
Yeah, Clark had 3 players attacking that ball, but they were going against 3 players for Tacoma. Tacoma was able to clear it. Now a foul, I think, on Casey Smack.
It appears to be so. We've crossed the hour mark. Clark leading 1-0.
Castaneda's going to try to loft this ball in this time.
Encino off her line.
Well done. You know, you have a goalkeeper coming in at halftime like that. It's got to be good for her to get a nice chance to catch a ball like that. She didn't have anybody in her way. She wasn't impeded. You know, caught it cleanly under a little bit of pressure. Really, really good for Tacoma for her to get settled in.
Ricky to Brock. Brock drives one in. Johnson looking to settle. And she's committed a foul in the process.
Was that a handball, maybe? I thought she did a nice job there. She must have, I would assume she handled the ball and popped up a little bit on her maybe, because I didn't really see anything else. But
it didn't seem to be a defender in proximity for her to foul.
Yeah, She did a good. She does a terrific job using her body, and she got her body in between the defender and the ball. We're on it down. I'm assuming she got called for using an arm to help her there. But Brock got time on the ball, got her head up, picked out a good target. I think you're going to see more of that from Tacoma.
Smack turns well off her defender. Well, the ball just runs a little bit too far for her. Advantage was played by the referee.
Yeah, they're going to. Smack committed the foul a little further back, and this time they're going to call it on, I think, was that on Kayla Beard?
I believe it was Castaneda out there in the wide position.
Yep. Yeah, it was on Castaneda. So that's going to now give Tacoma a chance to launch one in there. Ricky was standing over it, but now Brock's going to take it. Student body left for Tacoma. Ball's loose in the box.
Hannah Ty gets it up to Eakins.
Cruz stepped up to win that. And now Smack can't quite get it through.
Kayla Sills looks like she might have had a bit of a collision with Smack. Another free kick going the way of the Penguins.
I think Smack's looking over at the bench. I think she's coming off at the next substitution. She's had a good run in the second half, though. Good 15 minutes with an impact. Gagley wins a battle there. Beat Beard and Topham. But then Clark comes right back at him. Here she goes again.
Well, Gagley putting in some tough work here on this near sideline.
And then Ricky does a great job switching it, finding an open player. Smith releases Brock, and here we go again down the right side.
Brock jumps over a defender, holds that ball in play right on the touchline. An early cross, it's beyond Johnson, and Higgins content to just see that ball curling inside the 6-yard box. She's confident if it's in the air and in the 6, she's going to get to it.
Yeah, in the women's game, you really want your goalkeeper to command the 6-yard box, and Higgins has done a great job of that, and that ultimately, it was a great run by Brock, but ultimately not a ball that really threatened. But they've definitely served notice that they can get the ball up that side again. And Gagley has really grown into the game on the left side for Tacoma, but here's a ball in. Brock does a great job again, just snuffing that out, but that was a dangerous ball across the face of the goal.
Now the subs will be allowed. Natalie Butler on for the Titans. Courtney Cutter returns for the Penguins. Butler, the first year out of Bellarmine.
Number 26, Courtney Cutter.
Yep. Played a limited role during the season, but a good player. Tacoma gets it out.
She's plugged in up top.
Yep, and that moved Johnson over to the right side. So now you've got, for Tacoma, you got Brock and Johnson over on that flank. That's a pretty athletic, dangerous pairing. Now they play it to Amanda Ricky, swings it over.
Topham. Smith has it. Back for Gagley. Down line. And
really good idea by Gagley. Newsom was there. Just couldn't quite execute it. But they had combined and they'd eliminated Beard and Topham. And Newsom, if she could have pulled that out of the air, it was 2v2 in the back there, which is good odds for the offense.
Finley. Newsom wins the header. Butler looking to turn. Just feels like most of the second balls have kind of gone Clark's way so far in this match.
Yep. Well, Clark's they're athletic. They've been substituting, so they're keeping the tempo up. And they're good. I think for me, Tacoma, I think Gagley's done a terrific job kind of growing into the game on this side. A little unlucky, a really skillful play from, I think that's Hannah Ty, and almost made that work. But that's given Tacoma a chance to really attack on both sides, and they've been able to push Clark back a little bit. But when Clark gets forward, you've got Eakins, watching Eakins run out that pressure. Tacoma does a great job passing the ball around, and they never are able to really release. They never get to a point till just now where they've released the pressure.
Williams.
And that creates a chance to play it forward, and Johnson gets on the second ball, and here she goes.
Williams away with the second effort. That one might have rolled off the hand of Brock, but it appeared to be ball hand, and Brock winds up winning the free kick.
Yeah, it's a good win for her. Courtney Cutter, just a workmanlike performance. You don't call her name a whole lot, but she takes up space in there and she makes plays.
67th minute now. Titans trailing by a goal. Brock lifts this toward the 18. Ty gets to it first.
Yep, Ty won it. Here comes the counter. Brock got caught, uncharacteristically got caught stabbing there. Johnson had to come back. Now you got Eakins going 2v2. O'Loughlin clears it out, but only as far as I think Ty.
Second ball in, Topham. Won't get to it. Ty moving in space, comes off Ricky. And Brock forced to play this down in the alleyway, and she just tucks it over the touchline. Walla Walla Community College athletes follow traditions of excellence in soccer, volleyball, basketball, baseball, softball, golf, and rodeo. WWCC Warriors are proud to compete in the NWAC.
For the Penguins, the number 10, Turner Joy.
Turner Joy back on. Caleb Beard headed to the bench.
Yep, Joy's going to go back out on the left side there for Clark. She's had probably, of all their outside mids, the most trouble with Brock coming forward. Castaneda, though, has been a wall behind her.
This is Williams.
They're really comfortable playing out of the back, although I'm sure Coach Castagnola would have preferred her to release the ball before she came across on the dribble like that. And here comes Tacoma.
Ricky square for Brock. Searching ball in. Butler gives chase, and again, just too vertical.
Yeah, that's a pretty good ball on grass, but once you get on the turf, a little bit too hopeful. Eakins, though.
Eakins brings this ball down. It came off her shoulder. Cuts back to her left.
She touched it past Kaylee Cruz twice.
Cutter can't put it on frame.
Cutter with a good hit. Well done by Eakins. Just 1v1. Touched the ball past Kaylee Cruz. Cruz recovered. She touched it past her again. Mostly with her upper body. Did a really nice job there and created a chance. Cutter hit that. That did not miss by much, and I don't believe that Tacoma's keeper there. I don't think Encino was in a good position to deal with it.
Clark trying to keep the pressure on. It's a foot race now for this ball. Gagley gets to it first, but her touch goes over the sideline.
If she doesn't get there, is that Rosenkrantz, I think it is? Rosenkrantz, if she gets there first, one touch, and she's beyond Gagley, and I don't think Gagley would have been able to do much about it. So, and the goal scorer back in the game for Clark now with 20 minutes to go. You'd think this is she'll finish the game.
Rosenkrantz throws over Paul. Cutter gets a touch to it, and it's gone out.
Cutter did a great job, get her body in front of Cruz, but Cruz did just enough to put her off, earn the goal kick.
We'd like to thank the Red Lion, the official hotel of the Northwest Athletic Conference. With friendly service and unique local flair, Red Lion hotels get guests closer to main attractions and good times with full-service hotels and a wide variety of amenities. Discover your escape across the Red Lion family.
Red Lion, also the official hotel chain of the Cascade Conference.
Eakins brings this ball down. Shot was blocked by Cruz. Paul, Rosenkrantz. Chip toward the back post.
Dangerous
and just
ball.
Misses wide left.
Rosenkrantz had picked out a corner and figured out where Encino wasn't going to be able to get to. Couldn't quite hit it. Well done. That might be the best chance of the second half so far, really.
Certainly.
Laughlin.
Toss-up between that and Johnson's volley on that service from the right side. But both these teams starting to sniff goal a little bit more intensely.
Yeah, I stand by my assessment. It's going to be a little bit of an upset if one goal stands up for this. both these teams have shown the ability to get in behind and create chances.
You know, it's one of the joys of soccer is so far this is a match that could have had 7 goals by this point. Just some stellar defensive play from each team, and a matter of inches one way or the other. The only reason that there's just the one.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, Clark, honestly, they had 2 great chances in the first half, free headers at the far post. And Tubner went down, started complaining. Honestly, I think Butler is going to feel a little bit hard done by there. I think Tubner went down a little bit easy. I thought the referee was being smart at first, but he was just waiting for the advantage.
Castaneda will take the long set piece.
Maybe Butler did get her because she and Tubner high-fived on the way out, and I don't think if Tubner had really taken a fall, I don't think that would have been the exchange.
Castaneda, great
Nice
left-footed
ball
effort.
in.
Just over the head of Tubner.
Encino came out, got her legs on it. Ball came straight back. She was a little fortunate that it kind of ran away. There wasn't a Clark player in the run of that ball. Here comes Castaneda down that side against Johnson.
Another hard challenge over there. Looks like it's drawn a free kick. Tubner favoring her left leg, it looks like. Still kind of checking in on that mid-calf.
Yeah, she's a little sore, and Brock, I think, feels pretty hard done by. Castaneda was steaming down that left side. Brock got her body in there and cleared a ball out, and Castaneda went flying over top of her, and the referee called a foul.
Now, meanwhile, Tubner's gone back down.
Oh, I think she's cramping up. They're just stretching her out. Yeah, she's got that calf cramp. She needs to pull her toe up a little bit. She'll be okay. But here they're up one again. Free header at the far post if they can get there.
A lot of people there. It was Tubner.
And then Paul.
Gone out for a goal kick. Well, Clark have had the better run of chances in the past 10 minutes, Dave.
Absolutely.
Still time for a momentum swing.
I think Clark really, Tubner and I thought that they had a corner kick there. And that Paul's shot was blocked, but referee was adamant that that was not the case. Substitution for Tacoma. I thought that they were going to take Tubner out, but no. They're going to bring...
So Madison's still coming on. They're going to push O'Loughlin up the field.
O'Loughlin's going to come into that kind of 8 role as an attacking midfielder. And I think that's a really good move for Jill. It puts another really strong player into the attack, and because now they're really attacking. I mean, and you're down in the 74th minute, so you're looking at the last quarter hour, you're down a goal your whole season. You're going to have to start to throw players forward, and so they're basically going 4 up top now. And 17, Madison Still's coming in to be a fresh center back.
Julian Johnson cuts back a little bit of space there. Ball comes over.
Ricky is wide open.
It's chipped toward goal and missed wide. Butler had a chance. Like you said, she had Ricky right to her left.
Yeah, Ricky had stepped into the middle, and I don't think this is not. It may be Jill's last throw of the dice. I'm curious to see as we get down. Now we're at that last quarter hour mark, 75th minute. Substitutions for Clark. They're still trying. Yeah, Castagnola is not going to take Tubner out unless he absolutely has to. Even though it's open substitution, they're just going to keep trying to stretch her out on the field. But Jill Green does have one more big move in her pocket. She can put Kaylee Cruz any place up front, and that changes the game because she's got incredible speed. Johnson wins that goal kick.
Square for O'Loughlin. Cutter cuts it out. Williams under a bit of pressure here. Butler trying to harass her. Brock gets that ball, falls for Johnson. Brock, a touch into the alley. It's taken her wide and has rolled out.
Almost, but and Clark has moved Kayla Beard over to that side, so it's back to Beard and Castaneda to try to shut that down. And once again, the referees allow what's basically a foul throw, but keeps the game moving, I suppose. Julian Johnson just went 1v2, worked her butt off and created a turnover, and now she's got the ball at her feet. They didn't get anything out of that, but that was good work and created a good opportunity for Tacoma. Tacoma's going to press this throw in as well.
Tubner gets it up as far as Still. Brock trying to battle against Beard, and Beard now has had a chance to rest up a little bit. Going to make things very tough for Brock out there, who's helping her back to her feet after a pretty crunching tackle.
Brock was like, oh, you're well rested? Okay, here, I'm going to win the ball, and then I'll help you out. But you're getting down, you know, inside the last 15 minutes. If you're Tacoma, you really want to keep the ball on the field here. And honestly, I think one of the things you see in American soccer that you don't see worldwide is teams play pretty much the same for 90 minutes. And this would be a great opportunity, you know. Probably not a great time to try to make a lot of clever combinations. Now's the time to get some bodies into the box and try to compete. You know, stuff's going to come up loose. And I think it's difficult for American teams to sort of have that second sort of, okay, we're going to play a little bit differently because of time and score. That's the one area I think that at all levels of the women's game, it's an area we can get better at. As you see Tacoma, you know, they're down a goal, and they're still kind of in that same 4-3-3 shape.
Paul here, counter. She's onside, blocked by Encino, and then eventually corralled.
Encino came out well, got her body in the right place. A couple times she's been a little bit reluctant to use her hands. Well done by Newsom.
Newsom still on it here. Williams tucks it away from her. Newsom's down and has stayed down while the ball's gone away. Referee going to blow the play dead here.
Yeah, I didn't like how Williams reacted. Not that I didn't like it, but it wasn't a good sign the way I think as Williams reacted to that tackle. She looked at Newsom and right away signaled to the official after they came together. I don't think it was a foul or anything, but I thought I would be a little concerned if I was Jill Green right now, just with the way that they immediately called the referee to help. Well, looks like she's going to walk it off. Amanda Rickey thinks it was a foul. With official time being kept on the field, you don't know how long the official's going to add for that injury.
80th minute now on the drop ball. Tubner hits it back to Encino, and we're back underway. It's Brock.
Brock did a great job keeping that in, finds Johnson. And that's all right. They're going to work the ball up the field.
Tacoma taking the opportunity to sub. Here comes Aubrey Smith. She'll replace Natalie Butler. So all hands on deck for Jill Green.
You'd think that would be the last substitution, most likely.
Entering the match for Tacoma, number 6.
Around the 10-minute mark, you really don't want to stop the clock again if you're behind. And you want to figure you get the 11 you want out there. Looks like she has it.
Newsom's
in.
Goes first touch, and Higgins equal to the task.
Hit that left-footed, but she got in between defenders. Higgins really well positioned, not particularly troubled by that shot, but it was definitely a dangerous opportunity.
Cruz. Right up the line to Newsom. Goes big ball. Was hoping Johnson was going to be further forward. Instead, it's just Castaneda.
Yeah, she had a short option. Went long, which wasn't a bad idea, but Johnson was coming from pretty deep.
Rivera goes for goal, and she'll miss wide.
Yeah, I think that's an opportunity that I think in a lot of NWAC games is dangerous, a shot from 30 yards out. But I think going up against Higgins in this game, I think you're hoping for you're hoping for a better choice there because it's going to be tough to beat Higgins from that far out.
Kayla Sills back on for the Penguins.
Johnson wins it again. And then Brock, step past, couldn't quite maintain possession.
Sills straight ahead for Paul, who is offside this time.
Tacoma quickly back in it. Oh, no, they're just going to set up for the free kick. I thought they were playing already. And they go short. If you're Clark, you don't mind that little sequence. Take a little time off the clock.
This is Ty. Paul.
She kept it in, made a little bit of heavy work at it. Now here comes Kaylee Cruz up the field.
Rivera. Smith. Johnson wants it first touch. Brock lifting this ball in. Smith underneath it. Ricky takes over. And Ty takes it away from her.
There's Brock against Robles, I believe, right?
That is correct.
Clark comes out with it. Brock didn't really win that battle. And Gagley turns it over, and Clark can possess it here and just eat a couple more minutes off the clock. At this point, you'd think they would take 1-0. A trip to the final, another substitution. Figure you're looking at 2 or 3 more minutes as Eakins comes in for Paul for at least 3 or 4 minutes of extra time. And
entering the match,
when you're losing 1-0, you're always hoping a referee is actually adding the amount of time the substitutions take. And when you're the winning coach, you're pretty comfortable in the knowledge that that's not going to happen.
Well, stoppage time and the calculating thereof, one of the more secretive methods of math known to referees.
Well, it should be pretty standard. It's about, generally speaking, they tell you about 30 seconds for a sub, 30 seconds for, 30 seconds for a goal that they're going to add. Gets tough when you get a lot of late substitutions, though, and referees who get a little chilly and tired.
Kaylee Cruz trying to go down line to Smith.
It's one of those moments where I actually like the NCAA rule where the official time is on the clock.
Nunez Robles cutting inside to her right. Sills on the left foot. The shot's blocked by Still.
Still did a nice job stepping forward the substitute.
Rosenkrantz floats that in, and Encino has it. 85th minute.
That's one of those moments where, if you're more sophisticated, you really like Rosenkrantz just to dribble the corner flag there. When you play the ball to the keeper, you're basically giving Tacoma a chance to get forward, but they lost the ball, and here comes the counter, and Eakins
from range goes over Encino and misses the post.
She had also found a little room there that I don't think Encino could have covered. Quick substitution for Clark. Robles comes out.
For Clark, call is number 17, Maddie Topon.
Topham back in. 5 minutes and stoppage time to go.
Short goal kick. Clark wins it. They're right back at him. Realistically, if Clark could hold possession down here, there's only 5 minutes of regular time remaining.
That looks to be what
There's
Beard
a little
is
patience.
thinking.
Yep, Beard was trying, but then they turn it over. And once again, Tubner cleans that up. She's had a terrific game for Clark.
Rosenkrantz, Eakins, the 1-2, broken up by Gagley. Still falls for Topham.
Ricky does a good job to win that. Gagley got on it, but then gave it away again.
And a tie, searching ball in, looking for Topham. Eakins applying the pressure. Gagley clears her lines.
Johnson did a good job pressuring Tubner, but she picked out the open pass again.
Sills in for Topham.
And Ricky does a nice job, wins the goal kick. Well done. held her position, got the ball off her. Tacoma's going to need to hurry up now. Less than 4 minutes of regular time remaining.
Ty has it. Square to Rosenkrantz. A lot of space for her. She'll go quickly in for Eakins. Eakins was trying to force that through to Topham.
Clark's had the lion's share of possession the last 5 minutes. Tacoma really fortunate. Keep getting the ball back, but Clark once again cleans it up fairly easily. Cruz cuts that out. Here she goes forward. This is the dangerous moment for Clark as Kaylee Cruz goes forward.
Cruz lays off for Newsom. Finley coming over, and she'll tuck it into touch.
Yeah, now Cruz has some time to take the throw in, get numbers forward for Tacoma.
Quickly in for Smith.
They only need one opening.
Smith sewing back post. Johnson comes in.
Johnson's
Higgins
in
goes
there
and spills it. And Higgins elects to just punt that one out the far sideline.
Yeah, she did a good job recovering, got it out of the box. Johnson did a great job. That was a difficult play, like a really, really dangerous ball across. Johnson put enough pressure on Higgins. Ball's back up. There's a lot of air under it.
Higgins knocks that down, and a foul happened inside the box. It was Aubrey Smith.
If you're Tacoma, that's a bailout call. Smith did a good job competing for it. Higgins went over the top, didn't really try to catch it, kind of chose to bat it. Not really what you'd like necessarily if you're Coach Castagnola, but she got two hands on it and got it out of the danger area and gave the official a chance to end that with a foul. Castaneda clears that.
Clark at this point, Dave, obviously just happy to see the ball in midfield or the attacking third.
Yeah, bad foul. Ricky finds Cruz. Now Kaylee Cruz has come out of the back and is hanging out in the midfield, giving Tacoma an extra player. Newsom finds her. So she's wide open with a chance to serve.
Cruz, Johnson lurking back post. It's a low chop ball in, gets beyond Smith, falls to Rivera. Got pinned between a couple of players. Appeals for handball on all sides.
Rivera had her hands out, and that's an easy call for the official. Once she put both hands out on the player in front of her. I'm gesturing here in the booth, which you can't see. Doesn't really help. But once she got both hands in front of herself pushing a defender, it was an easy whistle. Inside the last 2 minutes of normal time, or heading to the last minute of normal time now as Clark plays the ball long. Ricky can't win it, takes a bounce. Eakins in.
Eakins, can she finish it? Encino with another big stop.
Big save from Encino there. Eakins was in. That ball skipped past the Tacoma defense. Eakins was in behind. Couldn't end the game. Had a chance to finish the tie.
The 90th minute, Ava Brock has created so much for Tacoma. Can she manufacture a goal?
She gets a perfect ball in the box. Smith wins it, but couldn't redirect it on frame or back into play. And Higgins will take her time getting set to take a corner kick. Coach Castagnola going with a substitution there. He gets Cutter out.
Entering for Clark, number 26, Courtney Cutter.
I'm sorry, Cutter came in. Coming out was number 27, Kayla Sills. And the Penguins are going to have, every time the ball goes out, the Penguins are going to substitute now. Try to kill this thing off.
Tacoma throw in. We're in stoppage time. Titans trailing by a goal.
Gagley lays it up. Well, Laughlin did a good job getting a body in front there, keeping that alive.
Rivera going for goal. It's blocked. Johnson chasing it down. Beard tucks it out the far sideline.
Tacoma will be happy about that. They were able to get it. Now Johnson has it. If she can play it back to Brock, they're in business. Here they are. It's coming into the box.
Brock waited too long on it.
Kayla Beard did a good job reading that, putting some pressure on it.
Now ball ahead for Beard. She and Brock doing battle.
Really easily picked out by Tacoma, but they give it back to Clark, and Clark can attack down the other side. Kaylee Cruz has a chance to win it. Now Gagley keeps it alive.
Topham looking to turn. Cruz has it.
Cruz did a good job staying patient there.
Aubrey Smith
got that ball. Tubner, a little bit of an ill-timed foul there.
Ricky will have a chance to set this up. She's asked for 10.
She's not going to take it. I think they're going to have Brock take, either Brock or Kaylee Cruz is going to take it.
Cruz drifting to the middle is a potential short option for a long-range effort.
Yeah, I think you're going to see kind of everybody's in the box, student body right here. Brock plays it in. Clark's got numbers underneath it. And
still trying to track it. The final whistle goes. And in just their 4th match of the season where they scored 1 goal or fewer, Clark has punched their ticket to the NWAC Championships 1-0 over the Tacoma Titans.
What a great game, good finish. Tacoma, was able to get the ball into the at least attacking third a couple times, give themselves a couple chances to earn a draw. Well done, Clark. Pretty exciting. I think it's their first trip to the final, at least their first trip in the last few years. Both these teams lost in the semifinals last year, as we researched the question there.
Yeah, from what we have here, this is Clark's first trip.
This is Clark's first trip to the Final Four. Well done to them. South Region champs, and now they'll be coming back on Sunday to play in the final.
It looks like they're going to bring a couple players up here. Looks to be Natalie Paul and Hannah Tai. And now we'll have a chance to speak to the two of them.
Sunday's championship game will be at 1:30.
We've been wrong all day.
But now we're right. Yeah. Now she's here. So you want me to just ask these from off and they can pass the other one back and forth? How do you want to do this?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. You guys can pass these back and forth. Yep. No, I like better with lights on. Yeah. For business. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're good?
Yep.
Great. And the levels are good?
Yep.
Excellent. We're back here for our post-game show. Clark College Penguins winning over Tacoma Titans 1-0. We're on that camera. How many cameras we got on this ship? Andrew Harvey, 2 players from the winning team, Natalie Paul and Hannah Tay. And Hannah, those last couple minutes there, Tacoma was really throwing a lot of pressure at you guys, but you guys were able to deal with it, get the ball forward. What were those last couple minutes like, just trying to run out that clock?
It's definitely frantic and it's intense. We're tired. We've played 90 minutes, but we want this more than anything, and we showed today. And so I think just deep down, we just wanted to fight until the very end and come out on top, and that's what we did.
Now let's talk about your goal. Came in the 37th minute, kind of closing in on the end of the first half. It's a bit of a scrum goal. You fight your way between 2 center backs. How did you see that play developing, and what was it like when you saw that one get beyond the keeper?
Well, I saw Sarah going. I saw Sarah going, and I was like, I need to be ready for anything. I need to be ready for a ricochet or anything, and she did a perfect assist, and I was there, and it was a really good play.
This was just the 4th match this season where you guys have had 1 goal or fewer. Normally they've come in bunches for you. What's it like to have a 1-0 here in the conference semifinals?
It's definitely exciting, and it's frustrating, and it's just all of the emotions, and I'm so happy we won.
And finally, just thinking about this trip to the final, it's Clark's first time going since the tournament's been created. What would it mean to go there and maybe get the W on Sunday?
Oh, it'd mean, I can't even describe how much it would mean to all of us. We want this so bad. We've never been here before, and this last year it was devastating. We lost in the semifinals, and so just to get past that point, we're all so stoked and ready for tomorrow.
Well, ladies, congratulations to both of you, and best of luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
That's going to do it for us here in Game 1. Once again, the Clark Penguins take the victory 1-0 over the Tacoma Titans here on the NWAC Digital Network. See?